After years of secretly admiring the alpha whose family was on the brink of bankruptcy, I openly proposed a marriage alliance. On our wedding night, he acted like a violated virgin male omega. I don't like betas. Don't think you can use the Clark family to force me into submission. I'd rather die than become your dog. Later, when I was drugged by enemies, the alpha kicked down the hotel door and dragged the trembling omega off me with gritted teeth. 3 days. I was gone for 3 business days and you're already finding strays? What am I to you? You can still back out. Alex. I glanced up from the contract. Ethan twirled his pen lazily, silk shirt unbuttoned at the throat, raven hair cascading over broad shoulders. A stray lock framed his chiseled features as he pressed thin lips together, the picture of defiant elegance. I'm temperamental, petty, emotionally volatile, can't cook, won't babysit. Oh, and I spend money like water. Still want to marry me? His smirk dripped with mockery as I signed the document. My emotional stability complements your chaos. We'll hire housekeepers. Betas rarely conceive anyway. I slid the papers across the mahogany desk. Spend all you want, you'll never outspend what I gain. The air crackled as Ethan's smile vanished. He suddenly loomed over me, silver chain grazing my Adam's apple with citrus-scented menace. Alex. His breath hitched when I seized the pendant, freezing mid-threat. A sharp tug sent him stumbling into my lap, flushed and speechless as I fastened his collar. You're no pet. I need a spouse. You need $300 million. Fair exchange. His signature tore through the paper, the violent slash mirroring the desk scar he'd carved between us a decade prior. Back when Ethan had transferred to our school, that exotic piano prodigy coddled like some precious omega. Cold as marble, he'd ignored everyone until cornering me after class. Top of the class. Huh? Those obsidian eyes had sparkled with mischief as he backed me against lockers. $2,000 per tutoring session. Deal? The offer froze me. $2 grand meant groceries for a month. Treats for the orphanage kids. I took the bait. Teaching Ethan proved eventful. He'd squirmed through lessons, stolen my glasses mid-lecture, once cradled my face with calloused pianist hands. You're fascinating, Alex. All study, no play. What makes you tick? His whispered taunt still haunted me. The first time anyone's gaze left me breathless. Though his antics drove me mad, those thick envelopes of cash and thicker lashes kept me compliant. Even when he'd press bills into my palm with a wink, fingers lingering just a beat too long. Beauties might be high maintenance, but they're certainly easy on the eyes. I tutored Ethan from freshman year through sophomore year until he finally scraped into the top 30 rankings, barely squeezing into my class. Ethan still moved his belongings over with visible delight, paid his original desk mate to switch seats. Now I can ask you questions every day, he declared, leaning lazily against the desk like a proud peacock, designer necklace glinting as he shot me that familiar smirk. Trying to spare my blood pressure, I ventured, "That's not necessary?" His smile vanished. "You don't want to sit with me? Miss your old neighbor? I'm fine with anyone. Just that sitting with him might give me an aneurysm." He abruptly shoved his textbooks into the desk, slamming the classroom door behind him. When he returned, he carved a territorial line between our desks, etching his name deep into the wood. "My side stays mine," he warned, jabbing my arm with his pen whenever I crossed the border. Back then, I didn't understand his mercurial moods. I planned to buy him a gift during National Day break to smooth things over. But when holidays ended, my present and apology letter remained undelivered. Ethan never returned. His secondary gender presentation complications had shipped him overseas overnight. My messages sank into void. His new life became foreign territory. Our paths diverged like railway tracks after brief intersection, him continuing as golden child, me grinding through college to build my career. 2 weeks ago, the bombshell dropped during drinks with friends. The Clarks are circling the drain. Someone mentioned. Patriarch's legacy gone. Now begging for marriage alliances. I looked up from contracts. Their heirs still in high school? There's the firstborn alpha from the original marriage. Piano prodigy. Went radio silent abroad. Just got recalled. My pen froze. His name? Something like Ethan? Classy name. That night found me chain-smoking on the balcony, neon lights blurring as I dialed Clark Holdings. We signed marriage papers at City Hall 5 minutes before closing. Emerging into sunset, Ethan immediately demanded, "I won't stay at the manor. Book me the Ritz-Carlton penthouse until the wedding. Your new home has floor-to-ceiling windows, south-facing master bedroom with balcony." I listed, tucking away our certificates. Heated floors, 3 live-in staff. His cufflink adjustment stilled. Twilight gilded his profile as he turned. Gaze lingering. Didn't realize Mr. Ford kept such detailed files. Music rooms on 3rd floor. Steinway D. 274. He strode ahead, shoulders relaxing. I'll endure it then. Catching up, I recognized that spark in his eyes, unchanged from adolescence, transparent as ever. Happiness or irritation, never masked. Ethan arrived at our doorstep with single suitcase. After dinner, I waited by the steamy bathroom to discuss wedding plans. Work documents forgotten on silk duvet. Water shut off. My throat went dry. Ethan emerged barefoot from the bathroom, his loosely tied robe gaping open to reveal damp collarbones still glistening with water droplets. He started upon seeing me, eyes widening comically. "What are you doing here?" I averted my gaze and tilted my chin. "We're legally married. This is our marital bedroom. Not only can I be here, but anything we might do here would be perfectly lawful." His face flushed crimson. After prolonged throat clearing, he blurted, "So this is your true motive, you predator." The words tumbled out like a violated Victorian maiden's protest. "I'll never submit to a beta. You can't chain me with the Clark's influence. I'd rather die than become your lapdog." This again. When had I ever mentioned canines? Narrowing my eyes, I advanced. Despite his height advantage, Ethan retreated until cornered against the wall. His Adam's apple bobbed nervously even as he threatened, "Alex, I'll scream if you come closer." "Ethan." My steady gaze met his. "I've never considered you subordinate. Not once." His expression softened momentarily until I added, "Unless this is some role-play fantasy of yours?" Scarlet-faced, he shoved past me while wrestling with his belt. "You're insufferable." The bedroom door slammed behind me before I could respond. Leaning against the doorframe, I called, "Dry your hair properly. Call if you need anything." A muffled grunt answered. With Ethan still seething, wedding discussions would have to wait till morning. Over the next fortnight, Ethan single-handedly orchestrated venue bookings, tuxedo fittings, ring selections, and guest arrangements. "Your taste's atrocious." He'd sniffed while rejecting my 3rd floral proposal. "This will be my only wedding, it must be flawless." I observed his whirlwind preparations with amusement until the rehearsal dinner at Clark Manor. Despite their estrangement, the Clarks greeted us with unsettling fervor. "Ethan, you've withered away." "Mrs." Clark clutched his shoulders tearfully. "You're mistaken." Ethan disentangled himself coolly. "Alex provides excellent care. Shall we eat, Mr.?" Clark's jaw tightened through 3 courses of veiled financial probing. When he finally broached the $300 million transfer, I adjusted my glasses with practiced innocence. While dowries are antiquated, this sum represents my lifelong commitment to Ethan. The funds will be deposited to his account post-ceremony. The patriarch's smile turned cadaverous. "Ethan's impulsive with finances. Perhaps we should. I enjoy indulging him." My interruption drew Ethan's delighted chuckle. $300 million for eternity? He dropped a shrimp on my plate, eyes glittering. Bargain of the century. The Rolls-Royce hadn't cleared the gates before Ethan pounced. "You're actually that liquid? Sufficient for your needs. Toto Margot vintages. Seasonal Brioni wardrobes. Annual globe trotting." He ticked off luxuries like a child listing Christmas wishes. My black Amex slid across the leather seat. "Unlimited secondary card. Pins your birthday." Ethan's breath hitched. "No safeguards? What if I vanish to Monaco tomorrow? Then I'll have justification for that Interpol tracker I installed." His laughter filled the cabin as we sped toward our dawn appointment at St. Patrick's Cathedral, where gold leaf invitations proclaimed the union of Alex and Ethan partners in both matrimony and mischief. I looked at him. You're not going anywhere. Well, do you want it or not? He slipped the card into his wallet, lips quirking. I do. Alex, you're kind of interesting. The wedding proved more exhausting than I'd imagined. Makeup and styling, greeting guests, toasting one ritual after another. Guess that alpha stamina really came through. By nightfall, I collapsed onto bed while Ethan remained energetic, sitting cross-legged on the carpet counting cash gifts. Finally, he tossed his pen and cheered, "Jackpot! Keep it safe." I threw the red envelopes at him, rolling over. "I'm turning in. You're sleeping already?" Ethan crawled onto the bed, propping his chin on the mattress edge. "Hey, should we maybe?" "What did you say?" I opened my eyes. He blinked rapidly, cheeks flushing scarlet as he scrambled back. "It's our wedding night. Shouldn't we, you know?" The stammering finally made me understand. I sat up. "Do you love me?" Ethan froze. "No." He answered instantly. "Then why ask? I took 300 million from you. Shouldn't I provide services?" He said it like basic math. The casual statement stunned me. After consideration, I spoke carefully. "You see this marriage as business, but I don't. I married you because I love you. The money, the kindness, I gave them freely. Love isn't transactional. My devotion doesn't demand yours in return." Maybe it sounded hopelessly romantic, but to me, true love expects no repayment. It's not barter, but believing someone's worth your whole heart. Ethan stared silently, confusion and something unreadable in his gaze. Eventually he muttered, "You're such a fool." My foolish words kept him tossing restlessly. Half asleep, I felt him sidle closer. "You say you love me. Why? We've known each other barely 2 months. You don't really know me. Alex, what exactly do you see in me?" Exhausted and pestered, I mumbled, "Your face." He stiffened. Fingers twisted my shirt hem under the covers. "So, if I get ugly someday, you'll stop?" "Wouldn't?" I slurred, drifting off. Ethan's lips trembled. "Liar," he whispered. "You'd ditch me in a heartbeat." I missed his muttered addendum, already asleep. Weeks later, I took him to visit my childhood orphanage in the suburbs. The director hadn't attended our wedding, too busy with the kids. Ethan adapted better than expected. While I chatted with mother director, he got mobbed by children, girls braiding his hair, bold toddlers hugging him, one chubby-fingered tot poking his cheeks. "Wow, so smooth," the child marveled, flushed bright red under the assault. Ethan yelped, "Alex, help!" Leaning against the doorframe, I grinned at him and drawled, "The kids adore you. Stay and play with them. I'll get out of your hair." Ethan glared at me. "If you won't help, I'll tell them all your dirty secrets. Go ahead." I raised an eyebrow, my tone deliberately provoking. "Knock yourself out." Even if he spilled every embarrassing childhood story, those kids would never believe him. They'd grown up hearing my legendary tales after all. After our stare-down ended with Ethan huffing, "I'm above this," the children predictably took his side. One chirped, "Ethan's so handsome." Another praised, "He plays piano amazingly." When someone countered, "Alex can play too," Ethan's head snapped up. "You play piano? What level? Any certifications? Awards?" He demanded, "Play for me later. Let's just say it's not my proudest skill." Back in high school, Ethan had tried teaching me Claire de Lune. My clumsy fingers butchered the melody, baffling the musical prodigy as much as his math test scores confused me. He'd parroted my old taunts. "You're hopeless. Never tell anyone I taught you. Are you secretly getting revenge here?" Yet he'd stubbornly guided my hands across the keys for weeks until I managed a simplified version. "No certifications," I admitted. "Just amateur stuff." Ethan's "oh" carried faint disappointment before he rallied. "No matter. I'll teach you properly." "Sure." I chuckled. "If you've got the patience. With a teacher this brilliant?" He thumped his chest dramatically. "You'll be concert ready." That afternoon, I took him to the wooded hills behind our orphanage. Poking through autumn leaves with sticks, I reminisced. When we got in trouble at school, we'd hide up here to avoid scoldings. The headmistress eventually dragged us back for spankings we could have avoided. Ethan crouched beside me, stirring the leaf pile. She cared enough to look. My family wouldn't notice if I vanished for months. After a beat, I nudged him. Different rules now. Miss curfew and I'll send search parties. His ears pinkened as realization dawned. As if I'd stay out late. The indignant protest couldn't hide his pleased smile. You're the one with the busy work schedule and endless social obligations. If we're being honest, you're more likely to stay out all night than I am. His words gave me pause. Fair point. Let's set the curfew at 8:30 p.m. then. I'll decline non-essential engagements. And for the unavoidable ones, you'll pick me up afterward. No overnight stays. I promised. Ethan studied me for a long moment before turning away. Do whatever you want. It's not like I care. After several seconds of silence, he mumbled, You don't have to cancel all your events. Since I'm free anyway, I guess I could come get you. Our married life continued much as before. With one notable change, Ethan had become increasingly attached. At the office, he'd camp out in my workspace. At home, he'd hover nearby offering constant snacks and drinks. Even during galas, he'd orbit around me like a persistent satellite. Ethan, come here. Mister. Clark called from across the room. My husband kept nibbling his petit four, pretending deafness while complaining sotto voce. This cake's too cloying. Try the cherries then, I suggested, handing him a moist towel to clean his sticky fingers. Mister. Clark's patience finally snapped. Ethan, we need to talk. After my gentle nudge, Ethan slouched toward his father with all the enthusiasm of a condemned man. Mrs. Clark slid into the vacated seat, watching their retreating figures. He's matured so much. In the past, he'd have started arguing immediately. Her tone turned conspiratorial. His mother passed young, and the family spoiled him rotten. When I first married into the Clark family, that boy made my life hell. Even his brother Liam tiptoes around him. After we sent him abroad for high school, he went completely wild, drinking, brawling, street racing. She leaned closer. I half expected him to knock up some girl and dump a bastard child on our doorstep. I maintained perfect composure while refilling her teacup. Parental guidance seems to have been lacking. Her smile tightened. As a stepmother, I couldn't intervene. His father tried dash. Effective parenting requires genuine effort. I rose, cutting through the frosty atmosphere. Family discord often stems from parental failings. Excuse me. Approaching the balcony, I caught Mr. Clark's heated whisper. Over $300 million spent on you. Can't you contribute now that the family business needs help? His tone shifted to wheedling. Keep your spouse happy and they'll never question it. Endure this for 2 years until Liam takes over. The Clark family legacy dash. Ethan's bitter laugh interrupted. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm just a kept man living off my spouse's wealth. He turned and froze upon seeing me. Wordlessly, I took his hand. We drove home in silence until Ethan blurted. I never agreed dash. I know. His eyes searched mine. You're not angry? Why would I be? If money could fix your family relationships, it'd be worth it. Don't. His knuckles whitened on the armrest. True family doesn't need bribes. Those leeches would just demand more. What's your plan? Stall them. A sly grin crept across his face. If we pay, we extract concessions. The Clark family business has been mismanaged for years. Grandpa covered the cracks, but Dad's failed investments. I raised an eyebrow. He puffed up comically. What? I'm not just a pretty face. The streetlights glinted off his triumphant smile as we sped toward the city lights. The losses were catastrophic, causing immediate cash flow problems for the company. Desperate measures like robbing Peter to pay Paul eventually led them to consider marriage alliances. Now Ethan is married to me, but our mutual unwillingness to provide financial support means we regularly get calls from the Clark family. They dare not confront me directly, so they target Ethan instead, alternating between playing the victim, emotional manipulation, nostalgic guilt trips, and outright gaslighting. He remains unfazed. With deadpan delivery, he spins outrageous lies. I'm just a freeloader. Where would I get money? But Alex gave you $300 million. Never touched it. You wouldn't want me depending on someone else's handouts. Would you? I don't believe it. He must have given you some allowance. Oh, he did. Made me an authorized user on his credit card. What's the limit? Can you withdraw cash? $300. Actually, Dad, why don't you send me money? I can't even afford cupcakes with this. Click. After a month of this circus, the Clarks' financial crisis worsened. Rumors say they can't even meet payroll. They approached me directly, demanding I mobilize Ford Family Resources to bail them out. Ethan immediately warned against it. It's a bottomless pit. Don't be stupid about this. I teased him. Thought you wanted to profit from this? He hesitated before muttering, I don't want them harassing you. Anything else? He rubbed his neck. Quieter now. That's all. I laughed. Relax. I know what I'm doing. This financial freefall stemmed from Mr. Clark's reckless investments. 6 months ago, whispers about a massive tech park development in the Northern District sparked a bidding war. Mr. Clark overpaid triple market value to eliminate competition, only for the project to get axed when city planners changed locations overnight. Their overpriced land became toxic assets, unsellable yet requiring unsustainable capital. The marriage scheme became their Hail Mary play to salvage the company. Now, with the wedding achieved but no bailout forthcoming, they resorted to ambushing me at a tea house. Between performative sniffs and sloshing teacups, they painted apocalyptic scenarios. If Clark Enterprises collapses, Ethan's life will be ruined too. I let them finish before cutting to the chase. What's in it for me? Mr. Clark offered 20% equity. Not enough. I tapped the table. Your valuation's halved. Plus, I want Ethan appointed CEO. Impossible. Mr. Clark slammed his cup. That boy isn't executive material. I'll hire a professional team to assist him then. I took a leisurely sip of tea, my tone calm. That's not an unreasonable request, is it? Mr. Clark's expression darkened with displeasure. He'd never shown paternal affection toward Ethan, his son. Otherwise, he wouldn't have allowed Mrs. Clark to enable Ethan's aimless lifestyle, nor would he have pushed Ethan into that arranged marriage to save the Clark family. Cutting off his impending refusal, I raised my hand. If this condition isn't acceptable, we have nothing more to discuss. When I emerged from the tea room, Ethan was already waiting outside. How long have you been here? I asked without surprise. Just arrived, he said, naturally taking my hand. My eyebrow arched. Really? Of course. He frowned, feigning offense. Would I lie to you? His convincing act made me drop the subject. During our car ride, I recounted the conversation. Executive director? Ethan pointed at himself incredulously. Me? Absolutely. You're serious? Uncertainty colored his voice. Dead serious. Ethan looked baffled. People call me a trophy husband. Since when do kept men work? What kind of logic is that? I countered. You're my partner, not some caged bird. He fell silent, giving me that intense newlywed gaze. I waited patiently until he finally murmured, Aren't you afraid I'll fly the coop once I gain confidence? I never planned to clip your wings regardless. To me, love meant supporting independence, not ownership. So, are you in? He pinched my cheek playfully. Hell yes. The company's partly mine anyway. Then prove it. After a thoughtful pause, he kissed my cheek. Deal. Mr. Clark eventually conceded, installing Ethan as executive director. Between the professional team and my guidance, the transition went smoothly. Ethan initially complained about stress during our dinners. I'd listen patiently before suggesting, we could always quit. Don't be ridiculous. He'd instantly recover. Since when do Clarks back down from challenges? His perseverance paid off. 3 months later, he secured his first deal. Modest, but promising. On signing day, Ethan clung to me chattering excitedly. I almost half-asked this at first, but then I needed to show everyone you chose right, that I'm capable. And damn it, Alex, I actually did it. After his ramble subsided, I rubbed his back. You overcame every obstacle, Ethan, I'm proud. Wasn't that hard? He mumbled into my shoulder, voice thick with emotion. Take as much time off as you need. Don't worry about the company. I'll handle things here. He released me, tilting his head slightly with a lifted corner of his mouth. Who said I wanted time off? Ethan's eyes brimmed with amusement, his relaxed features radiating pure contentment. Alex, I want to achieve more. I want to become someone worthy of you. I want to make you proud. When Ethan's ambition kicked in, he outworked even me. For a 3-day business trip to a neighboring city, he insisted I join despite my protests. There's a new project at the office. My team needs me overseeing things. I shoved an inhibitor into his suitcase. His displeasure became instantly visible. Fine, I'll go alone then. Just remember to miss me and stay away from those random people. Whether due to his approaching rut or some unspoken anxiety, Ethan had become clingier lately, almost like he feared abandonment. I promised to miss him thoroughly. For good measure, I tucked 2 of my shirts into his luggage. 3 days, what could possibly go wrong? Heard young Mr. Clark's away on business? You should enjoy yourself. Alex. The man across me swirled his whiskey, smirk dripping with implication. Invited some stunning companions tonight. Feel free to take your pick upstairs. Guaranteed satisfaction. I maintained a polite smile. Appreciate the gesture, Sam, but I'll pass. He chuckled knowingly, nodding at someone nearby. An Omega materialized at my side, raising his glass. A toast, Mr. Ford. I studied the slender, fresh-faced man, barely out of college. I don't. He leaned closer, whispering urgently, if you refuse, Sam will have me fired. I'm still paying off student loans. After a pause, I accepted the drink. The liquor burned fiercer than anticipated. 1 glass left my head swimming. Sensing danger, I excused myself toward the restroom. Retching over the sink cleared some haze. Emerging, I found the Omega waiting. Feeling better, Mr. Ford? That cocktail's notorious. He gestured upstairs. Why not rest in the lounge? I'll bring sober-up soup. Dazed, I followed. The trap snapped shut on the plush carpet. Pinned helplessly, I registered the camera's red light as his fingers undid my collar. How much did Sam pay you? 20 grand plus grad school tuition. His breath hit my neck. Your alpha mate never satisfied you, did he? Let me show you what Omegas can. The door exploded off its hinges. Ethan stood framed in splinters, beautiful face twisted with primal fury. His gaze raked over our entangled limbs, the recording equipment, finally locking onto mine. Gone was the playful charm. His eyes glinted Arctic murder. One brutal yank sent the Omega crashing into walls. Genetics made it no contest, alpha strength versus untrained Omega. Ethan Clark raised his hand, and my heart clenched. I hurriedly called out, "Don't." He turned to look at me. My throat felt dry as I rasped, "Don't hit anyone." His expression darkened further, lips pressed into a thin line. "You're still protecting him?" He ground out through clenched teeth. "I wasn't." He dragged the Omega by the collar to the doorway and kicked them out. "Get lost." The door slammed shut with a crash. "Ethan." I called his name. "Come here." He stalked to the bedside, anger radiating from his tense shoulders. When I weakly reached for his sleeve, he froze. Dark eyes lifted to meet mine. "Not going to the hospital?" "No." I insisted, holding his gaze. "You help me." Shadows deepened as he leaned in. This wasn't the chaste kisses he'd left on my forehead before. This was desperate, hungry. Ethan's skin burned against mine, his palms scorching trails across my body. My thoughts blurred yet senses sharpened, pulse roaring in my ears. He gentled unexpectedly, reverent lips tracing my forehead, eyelids, cheeks branding me with silent devotion. Coherent thought dissolved completely. "Alex." Through the haze, Ethan's voice reached me rough, edged with vulnerability. 3 days. I was gone 3 days and you, how could you? My hand found his hair instinctively. "Husband." He went utterly still. After endless seconds, low laughter vibrated against my neck. "Husband?" The word curled with dangerous sweetness. You like that? A drowsy hum escaped me. Fabric rustled as he pulled me closer, arm tightening around my waist. Your husband's right here, sweetheart. Morning light revealed Ethan's sleep, mussed hair and those devastating eyes. Guilt pricked me before I'd even spoken. Last night, he began, voice carefully neutral. You called me your husband. After a beat, I nodded. His throat worked silently before muttering. Oh. The odd tension stretched until I bridged the distance, brushing my lips against his. Good morning, husband. Ethan's ears flushed crimson. His fingertip pressed against my kiss-swollen lips, gaze searching my face for long moments before he abruptly rolled away. Get up already, he growled, stomping toward the bathroom. Was last night not enough for you? The mirror showed angry love bites trailing down my neck. More than enough. Ethan had filed police reports. Security footage clearly showed the Omega's actions. During interrogation, they confessed everything, including Sam's involvement. Sam Sullivan would bribe clients by arranging partners through underhanded means. Those who complied became accomplices. Those who refused were drugged and blackmailed with filmed evidence. During the police investigation, numerous videos were discovered in his encrypted folders, some involving recognizable public figures. With irrefutable evidence, both perpetrators were arrested as corporate legal procedures commenced. I didn't follow subsequent developments. The Clark family faced turmoil. After drinking, Mr. Clark slipped in the shower during a rendezvous with his mistress, suffering cerebral hemorrhage. He remained comatose in ICU. Mrs. Clark's hospital confrontation with the mistress turned physical, sparking viral online outrage. Ethan popped champagne upon hearing the news, mourning his father's misfortune with theatrical sorrow. What a shame! He swirled his wine glass, amber liquid catching light. We nearly reached the inheritance phase. Though Mr. Clark regained consciousness after a fortnight-long treatment, paralysis left him slurring words. Mrs. Clark, realizing her husband's incompetence, futilely schemed to secure assets for her son. Liam surprised everyone by capitulating first. My few encounters with the quiet teenager had shown him perpetually lingering in shadows. Sis. He addressed me, his gentle features shadowed by lingering melancholy. Turning to Ethan, he requested privacy. They returned minutes later, Ethan's expression peculiar. He's taking his mom abroad after securing college admission through competition. He revealed. Wants permanent distance. Renouncing everything? Good riddance. Before departure, Liam signed inheritance waivers. Ethan provided tuition funds through graduation, calculated benevolence. With chaos resolved, we finally embraced normalcy. He transferred 25% company shares to me, surrendering his salary card with mock indignation. I can support us properly now. At home. He hovered like an over-attentive companion, offering snacks during my overtime work. Discovering an old tin box, he unearthed elementary school photos, academic awards, and trinkets I'd forgotten. A tarnished charm bracelet jingled in his grasp. You liked these? He shook the dated accessory. Trendy back then. Meant as an apology gift for a classmate. His gaze sharpened after a prolonged silence. Alex, he drawled, examining the engraved pendant. What a fascinating coincidence. Your classmate shared my name. My pulse quickened under his knowing smirk, the jingle bells echo amplifying in the sudden tension. We've met before. I never planned to tell Ethan about the past. We never dated, at most. It was an unrequited crush that never went anywhere. Since we're already married, what's the point of bringing it up now? But he figured it out anyway, so I stopped hiding it. We were high school classmates. You paid me to tutor you. I spent half an hour recounting our high school days. Ethan simply propped his chin in his hand, listening quietly until I finished, then handed me a glass of water. As I drank, he asked, So you've liked me since high school? I thought you were up to no good back then. I choked mid-sip. Cough. Cough. Hey, take it easy. He moved closer, rubbing my back while musing. If that's true, doesn't that mean you've been crushing on me for 10 whole years? I signed the agreement and handed it to him with a smile. Tonight, I said, I'll show you just how much. My voice softened. I've loved you since high school. Never stopped. Ethan's eyes sparkled as he murmured, Alex, who knew you were such a romantic? He spent the entire evening pestering me for details about our high school days, why I fell for him. I told him everything I could remember. When that still didn't satisfy him, I finally said, love doesn't need reasons. Let's just say I was born to love you. Ethan studied me for a moment before corking an eyebrow. Then do you love high school me or present me more? I answered by closing the distance between our lips. He met me halfway, his arms wrapping tightly around my waist. The night stretched long before us, offering ample time to reacquaint ourselves.